The economic setbacks resulting from the pandemic are having creditors face difficulties with collecting their dues. Where a debtor is not willing to settle their debts, creditors may have no option but to resort to legal action while seeking debt repayment and compensation. The laws of the UAE do not allow a creditor to use coercive measures against debtors. So how can a creditor recover an outstanding debt in the UAE? In this episode of the MIO Explainer Series, we highlight the process of filing a debt recovery claim before the UAE courts in order to recover overdue debts. The first step is for the creditor to initiate contact with the debtor and try to recover the debt by way of amicable settlement, as the courts will always look at the debtor's financial position and ability to resolve the debt in question. If settlement fails or the creditor cannot contact the debtor, then the creditor may approach the appropriate court of first instance. The court's jurisdiction can be decided as either the emirate where the debtor resides, where the transaction was made or executed, or where the contract should have been performed. Otherwise, the jurisdiction set by the relevant contract shall be binding. The court will then notify the debtor of the case and the outstanding amount which is owed. In most instances, legal assistance is necessary, as there are certain documentary requirements which must be fulfilled when drafting a claim and submitting evidence before the court. All legal proceedings in the UAE are conducted in Arabic, thus all relevant documentation will need to be translated. Other than Dubai courts, there are alternative forms available, such as DIFC and ADGM, which may be used in commercial disputes. A number of procedures are offered by the UAE legal system to protect the creditor's rights by preventing the debtor from fleeing the country. If there is a criminal complaint filed against the debtor for a bounce check or other kinds of criminal matters, the court may, at its discretion, impose either a travel ban or prevent the debtor from fleeing via an internal circular of the case matter. Similarly, in a civil case filing, the claimant may request the court to impose a travel ban should there be a material risk of the debtor fleeing the UAE. Furthermore, should a successful judgment be obtained, the creditor may file a case before the court of execution, in which they may request the court to issue an attachment order with respect to the debtor's UAE assets. This will allow the creditor to seek specific performance of the debt against the debtor's assets directly, such as bank accounts, physical property, and other assets. This means that such assets can be liquidated to satisfy the debt in question. If you like this video, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page.